Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, dear listeners, from wherever you're listening to this channel in all parts of the world. Welcome to Afris Concept TV, and thank you for tuning in to this channel. The news updates. We can't pretend we don't have problem of marginalization of Southeasterners, says Senator Sonny. You're welcome once again. But don't forget to subscribe to this channel by clicking on the subscribe button and also the bell for more updates. To the details, carefully listen to the end. According to Senator Shehu Sani, a former federal legislator and human rights campaigner, we can't pretend that we don't have a problem of marginalization and stigmatization of Southeasterners when discussing the topic of Nnamdi Kanu's release. When questioned by Shehu Okinbaloye of Channels Television's Politics Today program how he felt about the Enugu State Governor Peter Umba's request that President Tinubu aid release Nnamdi Kanu from prison, Shehu Sani made the above statement. To set the record straight, Shehu Sani stated at the outset that he is not originally from Southeast, but rather the Northwest. Nnamdi Kanu's fundamental rights have already been violated by the court's earlier order of his release. But as a human rights activist and someone who has been in prison and had his fundamental human rights trampled upon, there is no way he will support an open breach and violation of these rights. If you look into the history of all those separatists, there was a point when they believed in the divisibility of Nigeria, and that is one of the difficulties we have as a country today. There must have been an event. Those who believe in one Nigeria should not be dissatisfied if we do not wish to further add gasoline to fire. Peter Umba has made a request, and the government has no reason to refuse. We can't ignore the fact that the civil war has led to widespread discrimination against and stigmatization of persons from the Southeast. Remember that the newly elected governor of Enugu State has written to the federal government, to President Tinubu, for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that is going to serve as national healing process to the nation at large and also is going to bring peace to the Southeast. So Shehu Sani has said that we cannot pretend we don't have problem of marginalization of Southeasterns. That they have marginalized the Southeasterns. And if they did not do something about this, then these agitators will still continue. They have stigmatized the Southeasterns. And this stigmatization is not only within themselves, it is from the top, from the federal government. But remember that the court has actually asked that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released. But the federal government decided to take his case to the Supreme Court. Now this is a violation of his fundamental human rights. His fundamental human right has been trampled upon. Is it because he's a Southeast person? Because if it's normally if it's a Yoruba person or from other ethnic group, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have been released. He has been in the detention of the DSS since 2021. It's going to be 2 years come July. And his fundamental human right has been trampled upon. there is no way it would not support violation of those rights. There is no way. So it is better that they look into these things very well, because these separatists, different separatists that are agitating every day, is because they believe that Nigeria needs to be divided. And that is one of the difficult things we are facing in the country today. If they did not believe that, if the federal government has come and listened to them and dialogue with them, said this and that, then these separatists will not continue to agitate. In time of such magnitude of marginalization, God becomes one's Lord and Savior, because the Igbos are now seen as people who are not meant to be in the politics. And this is the marginalization and stigmatization. But Peter Umba should continue to request for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And him requesting, the government has no right to refuse, because President Tinubu, while giving his inaugural speech, said he is going to act in compassion. So, without discrimination, he should release Nnamdi Kanu. We can't ignore the fact that the civil war has led to widespread discrimination and stigmatization of persons from the southeast. We have come to the end of the news, dear listeners. What's your view to this? Do you believe that the Southeasterns have been stigmatized and discriminated? Please share your view in the comment section. Thank you.